In Return of the Jedi, we see the final moments of Darth Vader, the man who reigned tyranny and destruction across the galaxy for the last 30 years in the name of the Emperor and the Empire. Throughout this time, there was a constant internal battle within, between Anakin Skywalker and Darth Vader, with Vader emerging as the victor every time. This was the case until he saw his son Luke Skywalker writhing in agony and screaming for his help as he was being tortured by his master, Darth Sidious. Immediately before this, we see Vader lose to Luke in lightsaber combat whilst on board the second Death Star. I believe that Vader let Luke win, and that in the lead up, Vader was actually taunting Luke before purposely dropping his guard to enable Luke to unleash his inner rage and anger so that Palpatine could easily pull him to the dark side. Once Luke was standing above Vader, having severed his already prosthetic hand, the Emperor then made his move to complete Luke's fall to the dark side of the Force, demanding that he strike down his father to take Vader's place at his side as his Sith apprentice. Luke turns to face Palpatine, throwing away his lightsaber and refusing to strike down his beaten father, defiantly proclaiming that he will never turn to the dark side. Palpatine's savage response was to send forks of Force lightning through Luke's body, causing Luke to writhe in pain and agony, screaming for his father to help him. It is at this moment that we see the internal conflict within Vader. He turns to look at his son Luke, and then turns to look at Darth Sidious. Making his decision, it is clear that Anakin Skywalker has finally emerged victorious, lunging and picking up the Emperor, saving his son's life and throwing him over the railings to his supposed death. It is only after this that Vader dies, which leaves many people confused as to why he dies seemingly so easily, especially after seeing Luke receive far more Force lightning. There are several theories that explore this. Firstly, as we know, Vader was one of the most powerful Force beings to have existed and was recognised as the Chosen One. Despite this, Palpatine seized the advantage whilst building Vader's suit and built in weaknesses to keep him in check. Whilst his cybernetics made him incredibly strong and enabled his broken and limbless body to move once again, they were also built as a limitation to make him vulnerable in case that he ever tried to overthrow Palpatine. One of the main flaws of his armour and cybernetics was its vulnerability to Force lightning, particularly his life control system. When Vader lifts the Emperor above his head, Vader is struck by Force lightning straight through his helmet and armour. Afterwards, Vader falls back, making a rasping breathing sound. Vader, realising that his breathing apparatus and life support systems are failing, asks Luke to remove his helmet so that he can look at him with his own eyes. Luke knows that this will kill his father, but Vader, knowing the damage to his suit had already been done and that it was too late, wanted to go out on his own way, looking at his son without prolonging his agony. Vader dies after Luke removes his helmet. Another similar but slightly different theory is that the Force lightning caused catastrophic damage to Vader's already crippled organs. In the Return of the Jedi novel, it actually describes how the Force lightning rips through his skeleton, cape and arms, crushing his bones and then into his heart. Using every last ounce of strength within him, he throws the Emperor over the railings before succumbing to organ failure. The final theory is that as Vader returned to the light side, he stopped using the dark side of the Force to cling on to life. As he allowed the light side to flow through him, his life force left him and he returned to the Force. This theory comes from the documented incidents that Sith could actually use the dark side of the Force to cling on to life even when it seemed that death was imminent. In the book Path of Destruction, which is a great novel, book 1 of the Bane trilogy, we read about the Sith Lord Darth Bane being poisoned. Bane calls upon the power of the dark side of the Force to cling on to life to find an antidote. In the process, he actually murders a father and his young children to more easily call upon the dark side to achieve this. In The Phantom Menace, we see Darth Maul get cut in half by Obi-Wan, falling backwards into a pit only to return stronger, kept alive by the dark side of the Force, using his anger and hate for Kenobi to return stronger. In Revenge of the Sith, we see Anakin cut into pieces before being burnt alive, calling upon his hate, fear, guilt and suffering to cling to life, allowing Palpatine to encase him in his life support unit. After defeating the Emperor, Anakin lets go of the dark side of the Force and with it, lets go the hate, anger and suffering that is keeping him alive. So what do I think? In reality, I think it's probably a combination of all three. Vader received concentrated Force lightning, causing his suit and organs to go into failure. Whilst he may have been able to use the Force to sustain his life for a little longer, he simply didn't want to. He had saved Luke, and he had fulfilled the prophecy. Now, he was returned to the Force to be with Yoda and Obi-Wan and continue learning from Qui-Gon Jinn. What do you think? Comment below, and please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps to grow the channel so that I can continue bringing theory content like this. Thanks for watching.